Okay, DL flyers. How many times have you gone to your letterbox and thought, oh my God, I cannot stand getting junk mail from these real estate agents? We are going to talk about annoying real estate marketing this morning in just a moment.
Good morning,
Billy, good morning. The annoying real estate marketing, DL flyers. I had a very upset person contact me this week. We're going to talk about this morning over the next 10 minutes. How's your morning, Billy?
Yeah, good. I feel like I was going to getting a telling off there, like I was the one responsible for the the disgruntled community member. But no, it happens to all of us. I think you wouldn't be, an agent putting things out there if you didn't have something coming back to you. Like, I think everyone's experienced this.
Definitely. Here's a fun fact. So, letterbox marketing has been done since the early 1900s, believe it or not. So, we're talking about prehistoric times before TV, right? There was no other option. That's how people learned about all sorts of things, news and all that sort of stuff. But, look, I had a lady reach out to me on my social media. I'm not going to name any names, but she was extremely unhappy. She said, how many times have I got to tell you? Stop putting stuff into my letterbox. And I, look, I hear the frustration. I'm the same. I get stuff in my letterbox as well, even though we have no junk mail on ours. But, we do use, not to throw anyone else under the bus, but we do use third-party providers. I mean, it's not Billy, it's not me. We're not going and doing those letterbox drops. We are using third-party providers, and these guys are just doing the best that they can. They really are. I mean, there's no way that we can go around and audit what is going into those letterboxes. And we understand that on one side of the fence, it can be extremely annoying for people, particularly when you've got junk mail. But then there's the other half of the equation, Billy, where people go, hang on a sec, I really, I'm super interested to know A, what my property's worth, or B, what Bob sold for next door, or C, what's going on in the marketplace.
Yeah. And I think, the recent success we've had, because we do get a lot of nice messages as well, right? Like, you wouldn't
100%.
be doing that doesn't, also benefit the community. But I think there has been a shift towards, people wanting to save paper. There has been a shift towards people wanting to cut down on recycling. So that's one reason I think people don't want to junk mail. But the other reason, probably the biggest reason there's frustration is just they feel like it's not relevant. So that, that's quite easy to change. Either make it super focused on streets or nearby or price proximity, and then you get better cut through as well.
Yep. Yeah, and look, I had a lovely guy called Simon who came into one of my open homes, actually filmed a video with him a couple of weeks ago. He literally bolted in the door of my Manly open home. And he goes, where's that list? The magazine that we bring out. And I go, oh, it's just over here. He goes, is this week's? And I go, it is. He goes, okay, so I love this retro marketing. He said, you guys are the only ones that do it. It's a magazine, guys, that we bring out every week. It's an enormous amount of work. But, we do it for you guys so that you're able to have all of our listings off market, pre-market, on market, all in one magazine. There's no advertising. It's just hardcore property. And he actually did a video on it. He's like, I love this stuff. And here's the thing, right? Some people with that would say that's annoying. That's a waste of paper. But, you look at someone who's of an older demographic, they're not going to go onto a computer and have a look at what the market's doing. So, we do need to appeal, and we do want to appeal to all different demographics in our community. And, you can't be all things to all people, but we do the best that we can. And we're aware of the whole paper situation, Billy. We do an enormous amount on our social media, an enormous amount. But we do want to make sure that we are trying as best as we can to be all things to all people.
Yeah, that's right. But I think agents that are getting any sort of backlash, what I've noticed the community actually really gets behind is when it's super local to them. So if it's a sale, make sure just the neighbors in the street are the ones that obviously want to know first, and speed as well. And then you can deliver that message in other ways as well. It can be by a phone call, a text, an email, but those things all combined, it's powerful. It's just an update.
I agree. And also what's on, as you said, Billy, like that's such a good point. Like what is actually on those flyers? Because if it's Billy is the greatest real estate agent, he's number one, he's driving a beautiful flashy car, he's sold X amount of properties this week, there's no value there for the community. We do our very best to make sure that any sort of marketing that we send out to the community has some sort of value there. And it's only not relevant until it actually becomes relevant. You're like, hang on a sec, that's interesting. I was thinking about selling my property, or I was wondering what Bob and Jane's property next door to mine sold for. So, much like any other marketing, but, we try our very best to make sure that there's really relevant information on there, i.e. what the property sold for. Because sometimes, Billy, I find that in real estate, we speak a language that a lot of people don't understand. And by that, I mean, people will often market something and say, 1 Church Street, DY, sold for $1 million. We had 20 contracts out, 30 people inspected. That is real estate talk. A lot of people don't actually understand what that equates to.
Yes. Yeah. The information that I'm going to vouch for ourselves here. The information that we put out is like nothing else you've seen before. It's first of all got a sold price on it, which is a great start, because half the properties online don't have a sold price. It's got what it was purchased for, so you can see the growth between the purchase and the sale. And it's actually got a photo. This sounds so silly, but it's got a photo of the block, a photo of the building. So you actually, when you get that in your letterbox, you go, oh, I know the building. I've walked past that one. It's not a photo of the living room.
No, that's right. And also, we try and let people know what it was sold for when it last sold back in 2013 and what it sold for today in 2025 and what that capital growth looks like. Like we do our very, very best to provide good, relevant information rather than beating our own chest and going, we're the best, we're number one, we got a street record, where there's value there for the real estate agent, but is there really value there for the community? So we do our best. We do actually, I must say that the comments are few and far between that we get for the DL flyers. They are few and far between. Because there is a lot of the community that actually does appreciate the information. As I said, if you're my mum's age, and hopefully she doesn't kill me for this, but if you're my mum's age, she appreciates that she gets something that's tangible, that's a hard copy, because mum's not going to go on to realestate.com and have a look at the sold section or jump onto, something like an RP data or something like that. So we do try to appeal to all people and do the best that we can. And listen, that's why we do, everything from DL drops to the List magazine that comes out every week. We get so many great compliments on that. Our social media, no doubt, that annoys people as well. We get a huge following, and I must say, I get an enormous amount of compliments from my tribe and the community on the content that we do. But I'm sure we pop up on people's Facebook and Instagram pages and they're like, oh, not these guys again. You can just unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. But, we are doing the best that we can and giving, what we feel is information that is relevant and important to the community.
There you go. Controversial Tuesday. We do find these segments divide and conquer people's opinions. Look, if you want us to cover anything on a Controversial Tuesday, let us know. We'll bring it on air.
Yeah, I said to Billy this morning before we got on air, I said, you know what? I think because Billy and I have got the Tuesday slot together, I said, you know what, Billy? let's cover some controversial topics here. And we are all ears, guys. If there's something that you want us to cover, something that annoys you or something that you love, please feel free to reach out to us. It is a live show. We do get people asking us about certain topics all the time. But we're very happy to address those always respectfully, always respectfully. We do value your opinion, whether it's controversial or it's super positive. But hey, Billy, just before we wrap up, we get an enormous amount of compliments on our marketing. Like, I'm not going to lie, we genuinely do.
Yeah, but I think that's because it really is good information first, agent info second. Like the agent information on that marketing is purely contact number, name, face number if it's needed, so you can follow up and inquire further. But the information going out is good. It's valuable.
Yep. Certainly is. All right, that's it, guys. Controversial Tuesday. Billy, have an awesome day, guys. Enjoy this stunning weather. Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Take care.
See ya.